Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to another part of why we play the game. Today, I thought I'd like to talk about the best kind of DMs. Yesterday, I went off a little bit, not really went off, but on some really, really poor Dungeon Master traits and habits. And today, I want to talk about rooting for your players. The absolute best Dungeon Masters out there are those that are actually rooting and pulling for their character, their players, and their characters. They are doing their best to put challenge after challenge before the party, but secretly rooting for them, hoping that they make it one more day, make it through one more adventure, overcome the challenges, figure out the puzzles, defeat the bad guys, the monsters, what have you, and when the day is done, wish they could be there with them, wish they were one of the players in that group. Maybe they're the NPC. If they're smart, they'll live vicariously a little through an NPC, so that when the players are kicking back at the local tavern or the local bar and they're cracking open a cold one, thinking about the day's adventure, they can be right there with them. Not the kind of Dungeon Masters we talked about yesterday, but really do their best to enjoy the fact that the story gets to continue and that they're not burying their friends or planning the next adventure to go back and rescue them. Although that's fun every once in a while, but it shouldn't be a given. It shouldn't be an absolute regular thing. Now, I know I talked about, not killing the player characters, but every once in a while, yeah, you got to do it. But if it becomes a regular thing, then you're going to see a regular loss of players. So you got to temper the good with the bad, the harsh with the victories. Every once in a while, you gotta be there for the party and be proud of them. I think that's what it really boils down for me. I'm proud that they made it through the adventure that I set up. I'm a little bummed that they beat all my plans and machinations, and that they figured out the puzzles and they were able to best me or my NPCs or my monsters. But I think that's okay. I'd rather, at the end of the day, get beaten by a bunch of bright, intelligent players who outthought me than to be stuck at a table with players who just can't cut the mustard, so to speak. They just, oh, poor us, we don't have enough magic, we're not powerful enough. Nah, you don't need that. A first level party has the same intellect and intellectual capacity as a 10th level party. Maybe they have a little more experience, but your players should be bright, and you should be proud of them for having bested you. I mean, think about it. You're playing as the Dungeon Master against 3 to 6 to maybe 10 players, and if they can't come up with a plan to beat you, then you kind of got to put on the kid gloves at some point, and nobody wants to do that. You want to come up with a fair, adequate challenge, not something too hard, not something too weak, something that was fair. Every encounter, every trick, every trap was right there at their level, maybe a little better, because you're allowed to pull out the tougher monsters, the tougher challenges, in the hopes that they do actually have what it takes. They do have the right stuff to beat that challenge, and the more they do that, the more that reflects on you as a Dungeon Master. You've helped nurture and educate and teach these players along the way through your campaign world, through your adventures and encounters. You deserve a little credit. You have taught them, hopefully, how to get there in some respect, especially when you're just starting out. You're the Dungeon Master and you know everything, or you know more than the players do, and yet they still manage to walk out of the dungeon, walk out of the adventure, heads held high, knowing that they gave it their all, and they're living to tell the tale, living to fight another challenge, living to go on another adventure, because that's what it's all about. the next adventure. Obviously, living in the moment is up there, is and probably a little bit more important, because that's what it's really all about. That's why we play the game, is to live the adventures of these characters. But as a dungeon master, you can't really do the same thing with your NPCs, and I don't think you should. You're only human, and the lure of knowing what the players don't know, and 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 having a little bit more information than the players do, that's a trap that we can all fall into. And God knows, back in the day, I probably did the same. My NPCs were probably a little bit too wise and knowing, a little bit too powerful. Every once in a while, that's okay to have a Gandalf in the party that's guiding them on the adventure. But like Gandalf, he should be absent when the rubber meets the road. He really shouldn't be there for the battle. That takes too much away from the players and their adventure, their story when the game is over. You don't want the NPC to steal the show. Maybe saving the day every once in a while, but it really should be up to the players. They should be the ones to get the glory. They're the ones that the bards will sing the stories about long after they're gone, hopefully because of the ordeals they went through, the challenges they faced, the dragons they slew. All of that is on them. You helped them get there, but it's really them in the long run. And that's why I'm going to be rooting for my players every step of the way, but never let them know. Just twirl that mustache behind your DM shield, give them those evil laughs, scare the crap out of them, but secretly be happy, be proud, be rooting for them the whole way. And until next time, I'll be rooting for each and every one of you, and I hope I see you guys real soon. Happy trails.